Yeah, that was a straight bad man thing. Yeah. Straight bad. It's like that. Them ones there is like, yeah, man's here. Innit?
Yeah. How you been otherwise though, bruv? You alright?
Yeah, man's good, man. Just here, bro. Just
the last time we spoke was you had your party, innit?
Yeah, the GIGGS fest thing.
I'm pissed I missed that, man. That looked good. You throw a good party, you know?
Yeah, come on, man.
You throw a very good party.
Mature parties, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, what was the one? The Halloween one?
Ah, yeah, that was a
That was very good.
That was more mad than I thought it was going to be.
What I liked about it, it was like, because you know what I like because you like Halloween, innit? You like Halloween and stuff, innit? Because you go in with it.
Not rich. Do you know where it is? Because to be honest, like, I wasn't even allowed to do Halloween when I was a youth.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, so my brothers, see, like my brothers, Spen and Gunner and that, and YG, they grew up with their mum. So I used to see them doing trick or treating, penny for the guy. Remember penny for the guy? I used to see them doing that. I thought, I want to do penny for that. Then I remember I went home to my mum once. Said, yeah, mum, can I do trick or treat? She went mad. What, this devil thing? Are you mad? Like, don't even. I didn't even ask again. I used to watch all the kids do it. So I never really. Halloween wasn't really. You get me? Then when Mel was growing up, and his mum was like, yeah, want to take her? And I used to be like, nah, the devil tick, because you're still, you know them ones, like, if it ain't even been proved to me it's the devil tick, I ain't read nothing. That's just what my mum said. You know them ones, so it's just set in stone now, innit? Man, so then for years, I never, then one time I went with my younger kids who I got now, and it was nice, like them getting to see. I felt bad for ML. Yeah. You know, all them years I didn't even go once with ML. Like, but them times the hood as well, knocking doors, man's gigs. Like, now I'm a gangbanger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm knocking doors, man's outside the door and that. Look. You know what I mean? You don't know whose door you're knocking. It says a different time, but now I'm in like a nice neighborhood.
Because growing up, Halloween was more, you would go to like the more like posher areas. So we would go to like Dulwich Village.
See?
So you know Dulwich Village, we've got the big houses and stuff.
For real, villages. That's it. So where did you grow up?
So I grew up, so basically, you know, like the back of Champion Hill Estate. So we grew up there.
In ghetto?
Nah, so like, you know, East Dulwich on Dockenhill Hill.
Yeah.
To the left of it.
Oh, so you're talking about with the big circle?
Yeah. So I grew up there. So like from birth to like 15, and from 15 we moved to Peckham.
Okay.
So then like doing trick or treat, you'd have to go to more wealthy areas because you know they're gonna give you sweets and chocolate and yeah. So speaking about your upbringing, I didn't know, but you started off as a DJ when you was young. You was playing like ragga and how did your influence to music then? What was it about DJing? Was it just because I grew up in a household where like Sundays were like the days where you had to do like your chores.
Of course, cleaning up, well, that was Saturday for me.
Oh, was that Saturday for you?
That was Saturday.
Like, so my mum's playing Galaxy FM and stuff like that. What was it like for you growing up?
But my mum, she just used to buy bare records still. Them times it was a record thing, innit? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You buy music on vinyl. So, my mum, she used to buy bare records, K-pop and Buju. But then she would buy hip-hop as well, like... Yeah. Like flipping, who was it them times? I don't know, like Naughty by Nature and them kind of days, like it was just records in the house.
Did it feel like DJing at the time at such a young age just felt like, because I feel like everyone's introduction to music, whenever I speak to musicians, it's always where there's music around. You know, we had James Blake on the pod and his dad used to do music. So like, you know, when you're just surrounded by something, it just gives you this, like I want to try and spin it back. You know what I mean?
Everything in my house was music. And my brother, Stefan, his dad used to sing as well.
Okay.
He used to sing like lovers rock music. His name was Mike Anthony. He used to like do shows and that. His thing was ringing like in the hood kind of thing for the gal, you know, the lovers rock thing, like, you know what I'm saying? So he had a little following and that, you know, he was probably like a GIGGS, like mixtape days gigs.
Okay.
You know them ones, you get me? When man was popping off in the streets, like, you get me? It was one of them kind of.
So my era of that was more, we had the phones, so you would be sharing, you had the mixtapes, but you'd be sharing tracks through Bluetooth. So the Sony Ericsson days. Yeah.
So that was him when I was growing up. So I used to do things, go studio, man's around like sounds and that, like. So yeah, it's just always music. Then same thing, you want to do a little scratch. Mash up your mum's records and that. And then now you want to scratch, you get me? So then my mum got me like a mini hi-fi.
Okay.
Them times I used to get the mini hi-fis with the like tape deck and the radio tuner and the turntable on the top.
That was wealth back in the day as well. Like if you went to someone's house and they had that hi-fi system, because the top would open up. I remember my granddad had one. The top would open up and then you had different like layers of the hi-fi.
No, that's the proper thing. You're talking about the real thing. This was like the like £50 thing, like
the Alba
with
one,
the small little speakers and that, like, you know that, this was one of them for the because my mom got that for me because I used to play music with swearing in it. Them times like I started hearing like NWA and that, and it was like that's the first time I heard music with swearing. To be like, rah, this is mad, like this is hard. And then I borrowed that tape from my uncle, then I brought that home, and my mom said, you can play it, but play it in your room. So then she got me the mini hi-fi so I can play tapes and records.
Okay.
You get me? So then that's when I started scratching. But then when you scratch that thing, it just jumps because it's not made for that. I want the turntable. Okay. So then I like ended up getting one turntable. Then I used to scratch on that and try and join it up with the mini hi-fi. Then I got another turntable. Then I just built it up like. So and then I just used to DJ and open my window wide. And like people used to come and sit outside and I'll just be DJing to the estate.
Oh,
like,
sick.
Yeah, like
how did you find that like Peckham growing up started to shape your culture in terms of obviously like now where you have such a like your sound is so you've created in terms of like your sound and your persona, but how would you feel that like Peckham shaped that for you growing up with Peckham, especially North Peckham Estate before they knocked it down? When it was there, like in the 80s, it wasn't a glamorous place essentially, but at the same time there was a massive community there.
Yeah, still community.
Do you know what I mean?
I was on Gloucester.
Okay.
But the community, it was, you know what I mean, music blasting from every single direction. Kids playing, you know what I mean? That was
because I feel like Peckham is that thing where it doesn't matter where you go in the world, that you'll always see parts of it. And the reason why I say this is that I know you go to the States a lot, and I find like the similarities of like New York to London is very similar, and how you can, you know, when you go down Peckham High Street where you got the different smells and there's someone asking if you want hair, you want to get your hair done, you've got the same similarities through parts of New York, but then at the same time it's got that hub of like community. You hear the loud music, course. As well. Do you know what I'm saying? But then it's interesting how you're saying like how you listen to hip hop and then you're hearing swearing and you're like, oh, okay. I never, because you know what's mad? Like when I started doing stand up, I got Def Comedy Jams, and I'd never like I knew of stand up comedy, but once I heard a comedian having these jokes about like,
person, like,
and sex and stuff, and I was like, fucking hell, this is right. I remember going into school the next day and telling people, just got this DVD called Def Comedy Jam, and they're swearing in it, and everyone's listening, and I'm like telling people this is what the comedian said, and everyone's like laughing. So immediately you're like, oh, right, you look like this stuff, yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly, because it's the naughty stuff, innit? Like,
yeah, because I feel like, you know, that as a young, not even as a child, because as a teenager, when you get that like little glimpse into entertainment, that is, because as you know, like when you're young, you're like, I want to see an 18 film, like I want to see the blood and the guts, and
you want to be a man.
Yeah, it's like ooh, and then you see a little bit of it. I remember watching Terminator 2 for the first time. I think I must have been about, I don't know, probably like 8-9 years old, and you see it and you're like, raw, this is the stuff I'm exposed to, but you're like, this is kind of cool, man. Do you know what I mean? How was that for you?
Man watched Freddy.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Yeah, I remember I watched that Nightmare on Elm Street. I was shook for time.
Didn't want to sleep.
Bare nightmares.
Yeah. Before like your early music career, like you spoke about how you've had trouble with the law. You said how you went to prison in the early 2000s. But what I always remember is when you came on a Big Nasty show, and we had
Ross from Friends,
David Schwimmer, and you said, and I never forget that the line hit so hard when you're like, it was nice to see you come out of your shell, because like the way that you bridged the gap of like, yeah, like I used to watch you in jail, like, and I think it's the reality of people watching the show of like, oh raw, like this is and I think that was also for me being on the show of, you're like, wow, this is someone, David Schwimmer, who's coming on the show. This would never happen on any other show. Do you know what I mean? How was that time for you, especially early on, like in your career, where it felt like you're in your flow? Do you know what I mean? The momentum is really building. How did that feel like that started to kind of stagnate you and stop you in some ways? Do you know what I mean?
What you mean when I went jail the second time?
No, the first time.
The first time. My career.
Yeah.
I didn't have no career then. Then I had a different career, innit? Like, you know what I mean? So that's how I ended up. You know what I mean? But I was that's when we first just started making music. When I went to jail then. That's when we started the first ever Spare No One mixtape. Yeah, we started it, made a couple tunes. I think we made about 8 tunes, but we was getting like tunes from different artists, like Nasty Crew, and so it was because there wasn't really mixtapes like that in UK at all, to be honest. I think there was one mixtape I was familiar with that was So Solid mixtape, Cuts and Bruises. I remember that. And that was the only mixtape I knew. So I said, yeah, we need to start doing mixtapes in UK, like with different like artists on them, like, so we can get our thing lit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course.
And then we started it, then went jail. Then man went jail like probably like a month later or something.
Did that feel like, because sometimes I watch a lot of these films and you see a musician go to jail and they, like, for example, like there's films where they go to jail and they're like, cool, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna zone in, I'm gonna lock in, if that makes sense. But then also knowing that, like, whenever I've gone to prisons and like visited, like, and we had a guest on and he says how boring jail is. So like when you know you're locked up, is there a part of you where you start getting something working that you're inside and you're like, fuck, man, obviously you want to get out of that situation, but is there a part of you that's like, is it hard to, like, obviously what I'm trying to say is it hard to like keep being inspired? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it depends on your mindset, innit? Like, obviously them times I was a kid. I was 21, younger than my son, my oldest son. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know shit. You know what I mean? And I knew I was going to jail as well, because I was just fucking on a mad thing, you know what I'm saying? So I knew it was coming, like, then I was just saying, the only thing, obviously I had ML then. So like that's the only thing, like, was like, oh man, my son, I need to get out to my son. I missed his birthday, stuff like that. Yeah, I need to get out for my son. But if I didn't have ML, I wouldn't really give a fuck. Them times. It was ML that made me think, right, I gotta get out and be something, like, you know what I mean? And then I realized I wasn't really the greatest dad either then. Like, I remember I just used to always be outside. But because I lived with ML's mom, them times, I used to think, yeah, man, I'm present. So like that's enough, kind of thing. But I still look, man, like you said, the trick or treating thing, even though that was what I thought it was wrong, but I still wasn't there. Like, you know, no one. So I used to be around, but I just used to always out on the streets, come home, sleep, chill with ML for a bit, go out. I'm feeling like that's enough. Then I remember one time, then I was in jail one time, and then someone, when it was close to coming out, because I didn't know if I was coming out, that's when I really thought, I want to go home, man, like, flipping out, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I remember someone said to me, yeah, man, when you get out, make sure you take your son to the park. And I remember thinking, I didn't used to take him out to the park. Like, then that's when I used to think, what do I do? Like, his mum would take him away on holiday.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, right, perfect. This is a time for me to go link baddies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, yeah, I'll give her the bread to go on holiday with him.
Yeah, man.
And I wouldn't go with them because I want to chill out with things or be on the ends. You know what I'm saying? Like, them times, man wasn't really a good dad.
Takes a lot for you to admit that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course. And then, so then when I come out, that's when I was on it. Like, bro, I need to be more. You get me?
Yeah,
then that's when I started like proper. You know what I mean? So them times I was young, so I didn't really too give a fuck. Like, you miss home and all that, but it's still like, yeah, I mean, like, man, I'm bad, man, and
I think it's the age
you know
as
them
well.
ones, yeah. But then when I was older and I went back when I was 30 in 2012. These time I'm GIGGS, I'm a rapper, I'm established. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in jail. My son's older. He's just going secondary now. And secondary that's when you got to watch out for the gang shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's when they start meeting their friends. You know them ones. Some man are like from this ends and they're gonna be a bad boy, and your son's rolling with them. He might, you know them ones. Like, so that's now is when you got to proper watch your kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I didn't know if I was coming home then either, because I was just sitting down in jail.
Yeah, man.
Like, waiting for trial. You know what I mean? So that's when I said, raw, like, flipping out, I've let him down if I got to get out of here. Like, so that was a complete different experience from the first time I went. Them times I was like, I remember when I first got back in jail, I was in Brixton again. Got in Brixton, they closed the door, and I remember when the door closed, I thought, how the fuck did I get back here? That's mad. How am I back here? Like, so that was a different. But yeah, to answer your question anyway, yeah, them times, yeah, it was just like, yeah, I gotta come home, like, I gotta get out of here, like.
I can understand it from when you went in at 21 because you're young, and I feel like anyone knows when you're in your 20s, just life feels like it's starting. Do you know what I mean? But then at the same time, I feel like when they say life begins at 30 and you go in at 30,
but
you're
they
like,
say 40, innit?
Yeah. I think hopefully that's what they're saying, bro.
That's 40.
I hope they're saying that now, bro. Yeah, man. But then rewind from like 2012, 2008 is when you dropped Walk in the Park. I remember that so vividly because I remember it was sold out. Anywhere you went in Peckham alone, it was sold out. And I'm talking about sold out. If this is when like Tesco's used to sell records and stuff. HMV, you'd have to go to the one in Oxford Street.
Or there was one in Greenwich as well.
Is there one in Greenwich?
Yeah, there used to be one Charlton.
Okay.
You know that bit in Charlton?
Yes,
There used to be one
yeah.
there. But yeah.
And I remember it vividly because it was sold. I remember going to the shop and it was sold out.
But that was just because they didn't stock them.
Is that why?
Not. They probably would like. They probably didn't. They probably didn't believe in it then because that was UK rap. Remember, this didn't really exist.
Yeah.
Man ain't put the only person.
Nah, but it was sold out though. I don't know. I don't believe it was just stock.
Nah. That's good that you feel that way.
No, do you know why? Because it's like I felt like. Do you know why I say that? And this is not to like to hype up because you're here. I remember at the time, people wanted the physical copy.
Yeah.
That wasn't like
copy time.
You know, like now it's like a nostalgia thing where you're like, I want the physical copy because I've got the record. I think back then the support for you was so strong. People was like, you know, if you're in secondary school, you wanted to be the person that's like, I've got the copy. Not because this is at a time where you can still burn CDs.
Yeah.
And we would, you know, you say to your friend, I burn that for me.
Yeah, now people are supporting.
But the physical copy was like to say I've got a physical copy.
Yeah, it
was like gold dust. I don't believe it was because they didn't stock it.
In the beginning it was that, and then afterwards we sorted it because then they started to see the demand.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So in the beginning when we first put them in there, they would probably take like 5 or something. I would take 5 of those instead of taking hundreds. You get me?
Yeah.
So then afterwards when they started, then everyone was, because there was queues. So there was probably
remember,
queues for like 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so then when they started, they was like, oh shit, then they started.
How did that feel for you though? Being a rapper, at a time when like grime has always been like something that's kind of, when it comes to like the forefront of UK music, like I felt like grime was always like, it's always been around essentially. I'd say probably from just kind of like that So Solid kind of era, as that kind of that garage went into So Solid and So Solid went into grime.
Them times that garage, So Solid and that Heartless and all
I feel
that.
like,
And then it went to Dizzy and Wiley kind of, because remember they blocked So Solid, didn't
the
it?
pirate radio kind of stage.
Then them man was more spitting, more kind of making their own beats, Dizzy and all that. That's when it kind of transformed. Like Creeper and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, right, what music is this? You know what I'm saying? So that's when it kind of started.
It's when I always say it's when garage got dark. It was less about like the champagne lifestyle, and it turned into a bit more platinum chains. Because they were talking about Audi TTs. Remember, everyone wanted the Audi TT.
Yeah, some hood shit.
yeah. It was like, raw, these men got like Audi TTs and platinum chains. But then as a rapper, how did that feel, knowing that like everyone was behind you in a sense of like, like we all want this person to succeed? Do you know what I mean? As a UK rapper, because I remember it extremely vividly, man, trying to go into shops and buy a physical copy. But what was that like for you at that time?
It's a bit of a weird one for me, because I was always looking at trying to like defeat the obstacles, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? So it was always like, look, you got like, just like that, you got the CDs in there, but they don't believe in it, so there's not enough. So then I've got to be arguing, we need more CDs. Then it was something like, man can't do shows, so man's trying to figure out a way how to do shows.
696 and stuff.
Then
right?
I'm not allowed on the radio or TV. So it was just like, I couldn't really notice the blessings, like, you know, the ones, because I was, but it was a good thing at the same time. Like, even though, I could have enjoyed it more, but them time I was still in the streets as well, like, so it's just like a different mindset, you get me? But I was always trying to like deal with this obstacle and that obstacle and that obstacle. So I couldn't really take in like the blessings, like, you know, them ones like.
Was it hard to really enjoy the success as well? You know, if you're still doing stuff in the street, but you have this successful, you know, you got success happening. Do you know what I mean? Like Tesco's are selling out of your music. Do you know what I mean? Like, is it hard to really enjoy it?
Them times are so hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, just so hood. Like, you get me? I ain't even thinking about it. I'm just thinking like, yeah, man, I need to get out of the hood. But for now, man, just here, innit? You know them ones? I just had a different attitude,
do you ever look back now upon that time when, because I always say, you know, the minute like you start really getting successful, you start looking sometimes back on the times where all the early stuff was happening, and it's like you're saying, you have to break down obstacles, but you do look back. I don't know whether you do it now, where you look back, you're like, fucking hell, I remember that. I remember doing that. Or is it just like, I don't remember a lot of that because I didn't enjoy
I remember everything, because it was still like street. There was like still, man was on the ends a lot and still going through stuff. There's everything, like every single piece of music I've got, I remember the time what was happening, because it was just always someone's dead, someone's got shot, this man's gone jail, these men have gone jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, man's gone jail, like, you know them ones. So there's always, I just remember every single piece of it. Yeah, man, it's just a complete different time in mentality.
And this is at a time like when your mixtapes as well. So it's, as well as Walk in the Park, like your mixtapes are like really bubbling in the streets as well.
But these times I didn't really know that. Like, like even like I was listening to the old mixtapes the other day, because I dropped all the old ones on platforms and that. And I was listening to them and I was thinking, raw, like, like that music made such an impact, a huge impact, like, and everyone that was involved in it as well, like Kai's and Tiny Boost and Dubs and Blade, and them times when that was happening, I didn't know the impact that it was making. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember them times I used to think, this thing ain't even working, man. Fuck this shit, like, sometimes. But it's, bro, I'm telling you, it's working, bro. It's working. And I said, So, like, that's why now I can never be, like, disheartened or, because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what impact you're making. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way you're gonna, like, know is just to keep moving forward, and then you look back like right, that was an impact, did it? Like that, you know what I'm saying? And we're always making impacts. Yeah, man. Always. Sometimes it might not be as big of an impact, but it's still an impact. Like you've always. So now I just more appreciate, like, yeah, man, the process. And
did you feel a bit like disheartened though when you missed out on the amount of live shows, you know, radio shows you could have done during that time? Because I guess now, you know, an artist can be successful online, and before you know it, they're playing at like a wireless. And
I wouldn't say disheartened. I would say more like frustrated. Okay. More frustrated, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like my thing's way more ringing than, you know what I'm saying? Like, but them times, because they wouldn't want to play me on radio, like, and stuff, like, man didn't, or like. Sometimes I remember one time I was in my house and I was watching TV, and it was like Wretch, Jessie J performing. It was like something like T4 in the Park, something like that. And I was thinking, fucking hell, they never want me to do anything, man. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, I guess. Like, because I've always, you see me, I've always, like, I know who I am, innit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, what I've done, where I come from and things. So I understand, boy, this is just the consequences, innit? Like, I can own that, like, you know what I'm saying? So that always helps me to stay strong, you know them ones? Like, boy, this is it, innit? Like, you went that way. But I always knew or know, like, yeah, that's not my path either. You know what I'm saying? GIGGS ain't gonna be on T4 on the part, but then you see GIGGS a couple of years later, wireless, bringing out Drizz or that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's man. So your path is always just your path. You just can't watch no one else's part. You get me? Even them things were lessons. You can't even watch what no one else is doing. That's not your thing. Yeah, man. But yeah, I used to get frustrated, like. But I was still doing shows anyway.
And you're doing shows outside of London.
Yeah, I used to do like club shows and like PAs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Everyone from Peckham would be there.
Yeah, I used to bring the whole Peckham with me, bro.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Until I bought the whole Peckham till there was no Peckham. Yeah. you know how it goes. Like, man, like, just get weird and just start doing weird things, and you get me? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I used to get frustrated, but it was more because someone's just telling you can't do something than wanting to do it. One time I was supposed to perform at BBC Radio 1 Weekender. Do you remember them big Weekenders? Man. They still do them? Yeah, I can't even remember. But anyway, they're doing the big Weekender, and I was supposed to perform there. And it's not even something that I ever wanted to do either. I didn't even want to do it. Like, it wasn't something like, oh yeah, I want to do the, because at them times I was in my fuck Radio 1 mode, like, you know, fuck these radio stations and not supporting or showing love and banning me for being me. That I was on all that them times. So, but when they said you perform, I even had to be talked into it, because I was like, oh fuck that, man, they ain't gonna. Then there's like, all right, cool, I'll do it. Then now I'm excited to do it, and then they said, you're not allowed to do it. Oh, right. Them times I get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I do it though? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, never disheartened. Like, it's always like, fuck it, we need to go around the other way then. Yeah, like, that's it. You get me?
And like, your middle is where you at now. Like, within your last 10 years, I felt like 2016 when you brought out The Landlord was such a defining moment, because for many reasons, I felt like UK music was in like its full swing. Do you know what I mean? You had like Afro swing emerging. I felt like grime was in its insurgence, UK rap, but then like the Landlord was like, because that was also at a time where I was doing my little videos online as well, and I remember it very vividly.
The couple of cans,
yeah, man, the couple of cans, Julie. And I remember it so vividly for myself, because I felt like everything within the ecosystem of like what the UK Black British experience was being showcased to the world, whether it was our comedy, whether it was people doing skits, our music, shows as well, you know. Like Landlord, I've come out to a bag of shows to Whipping Excursion. Yeah, that's one of my. Listen, I had to stop using it because I was like, I need a new song. But as an entrance, I thought I was a musician, bro. I walked out and I thought like, yeah, all right, cool. All right, what tracks do you lot want? But like, how was that for you? You know, it debuted at number 2 on the UK album charts. I felt like it had a real mix of, you had like the real hood tunes, you had something for the ladies, the features as well. What was that like for you when you brought that album out?
Yes, that was a big deal, man, because that was from nothing.
Yeah.
Like that was from like, that's when I came out of jail, 2012, and I just started from scratch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I've come out and now views are a thing. Okay. Because before, this is why I've never watched YouTube, like views and all that, because a lot of these things I've been around from before they even existed.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like YouTube, that was like, the big deal was to get your video on TV.
Channel U, yeah.
Channel U, MTV and BET, you get me? So when when you couldn't get your tune on TV, I'll just slap it on YouTube. Yeah. That's what it used to be. You know, no, it wasn't like, yeah, let's go on YouTube and see what views. It was just like, yeah, let's put it on there. It didn't make TV. You know them ones, like. Yeah. So I've always had the same mentality, which has been good for me, because like I've never been a views person. Like my views have never been the mad thing or nothing on social media, on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying this in the interview the other day, but man's always had the biggest, longest lasting tunes. Like you get me? You get me? Man's got like flipping like Bob Marley type forever lasting. You know them ones still growing. Like you get me? Like
anthem, bro.
National. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
course.
even that's not on Mad Views. Talking the hardest, that's a national anthem.
Yeah.
It's not even on. You know what I'm saying? So them time I just come out and nothing was happening. Like everyone was saying, yeah, GIGGS is washed up, it's over for him. Like, well, not everyone, but that's what you see online, innit?
Yeah, you always
know them ones, because the online is like where the miserable people are, innit? You know what I'm saying? That's where they are. No happy people ain't online, like saying, "Oh, I'm so happy." Like you know them ones are like watching someone else. Like, oh, when you're happy, you're not gonna like be on some negative shit. You know them ones. Like it's only that's what I used to see. Then I should say, not everyone was saying. Let me correct that. You know them ones. That's what that's what it felt like. That was the energy. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, what's going on? And then I just had to start releasing bare bangers. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just lacing up the place. Then it started building up again. Then it was Man Don't Care. I remember Man Don't Care, and the Dizzy song I had was bubbling up.
Yeah.
And then then Landlord.
That was that kind of Nutcracker.
Yeah, Nutcracker.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. And then then Landlord was after.
Seeing your versatility at that time though, I think was for an audience that knew you as well. Seeing your versatility, mix it up with grime artists, but do UK rap, I felt like was such a pivotal moment for you. I think anyway, where it was like, oh, okay, we never heard GIGGS on these type of tunes.
Like, it's always been that.
Do you know what I mean?
It's always been that. Before that, like even the old mixtapes, like it's always been verse. Like you see, like even like man's time of like UK rap. Because remember before, like it looks like UK rap started with GIGGS, but that was mainstream. But before that, there was like the whole,
man.
You know, understand PDC, North Star, Mashtown,
flipping
even Teflon, he had a different name then. You know, they were SMS. Remember them days? You know what I'm saying? So there was all of that bubbling up. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That was like ringing in the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But them times, no one went rapping about like what man was rapping about, bro. Them time it was just who was the wickedest man. Yeah, like 20 bodies. I got bare straps. You know what I'm saying? Like man came with, baby, I'm looking a slice, and that, like talking to women. You know them ones, like even on the song I said, man, don't make tune for the gal, them like they ain't got a girlfriend or something. You know what I'm saying? Like on them tunes. And it wasn't cool to listen to them tunes. It wasn't cool to listen to, baby, I'm looking a slice and I'm drinking it right. Got a look in your eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, man's like, what go on for this thing? If there was a bunch of man them on the block and then that comes on, man's gonna, skip that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But them tunes turn into, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie, that's my tune, you know? Because man's got a girlfriend, bro. Man loves women. You know them ones? Like, them times man weren't talking about clothes, like man was talking about UK shit, like like hit the Hackett shop, I need tops for the going up to Bicester, right? You know them ones, Hackett and Lacoste and Armani and Dior. Like man weren't rapping about that, bro. On like gangster rappers from UK. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
You know them ones, and then man would obviously man started on Gareth, so I always used to do double 140 beats, like grime tempo and that. You know what I'm saying? Like. So the versatility's always been there. That's how I'm here. Because there's the Astro Anthem talking art, but man loves List Hello. That's another classic. You know what I'm saying? But then like Be Careful. That's like you get me. Like so, there's always been. Or like Man a Bad Man. Remember that tune? Man a Bad Man. Man a Bad Man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like dancehall. So there's always been all different flavors of gigs. Like that's why I exist. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why even like music wise. Like I'd make any music, Afro, dancehall, like you know them ones because
I've seen that. I've seen because like with, a ton of people. There was a Bayesian artist.
Exactly.
Done a collab with,
the Bayesian. Like Chief Din. Do you know what I'm saying? Like so, like man's always. I just make like my main music. What I've come from is dancehall. That's my main probably before hip hop. Like is dancehall. Like you know what I'm saying? So like. If I make a song, I make a song like, I don't make a song thinking, oh yeah, like, yeah, I gotta be the most lyrical on this, or I've gotta say whatever on this. I'm gonna make tunes like for feelings, emotions. That's my, you know them ones. When I make a song, I think, raw, like, this is one you could drive home, you know? Like 11th of May, I just throw 11th. That's one of them songs you can drive home just to listen to that one song. You know them ones? Or when I make a tune, I think, right, this is one of them tunes like when you walk in the dance. You know when you walk in the dance and you're looking around? Like you're walking in cool. You want everyone to know you.
I felt like Lockdown was like that.
Do you know what I'm saying? You get me? Like you walk in and then it's like you're checking, right, the dance is nice still, there's bad gal in it. Yeah, this is me still. You know I think of tunes, I think of that tune, I think of the tune what's gonna in the middle of the dance when the dance is nice and it's like, oh, you have to run, oh, it's slap. I think of the tune when you're leaving, when the dance is over. I think of the tune when you're performing, like you know them ones. So when I make music from energy and emotions and how you know them ones. I ain't trying to impress anyone. I'm just it's just vibrations. You know them ones. That's why a man's here to stay. Like
how did it start to feel now when you start doing, you know, you're headlining like your wirelesses and stuff like this? How does it start to feel now? Does it, because you're saying how like versatile you are, but how does it start changing now when it comes to a live show where, you know, I think I was at that show.
Which show was it? Oh, you was at that one?
Yeah.
That one, man brought out Dave, Easy.
Yeah. But like what I had noticed is, you know, I think you had pyrotechnics there, you had a massive screen, and there's thousands of people. How does the versatility start to change now when from festival to, you know, you're saying you have to do these shows outside of London, but you're bringing everyone with you, and everyone was there. I was at the side of the stage. But like, how does it start to change now when it is your wirelesses and stuff like this?
Nah, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Because you see the GIGGS show, yeah. No one has a show like GIGGS. My show's like a shubs.
Yeah.
Because man used to be a DJ, innit? So the DJ thing, I'll handle my shows like a DJ set.
Yeah.
It depends what set, innit? You know, some, like, I used to make, like, dancehall cassette tapes, like, mixing. I would always start with like, some reggae, like, some sing, like, Luciano or Garnet Silk or something. And then I might play, like, a Wayne Wonder or something. And then it will go into Wayne Wonder and Buju.
Yeah.
And then I'll play Buju. Then I'll go into the hardcore dancehall. You know what I'm saying? Then it goes up. You get me? So I might handle my set like that. Like, I might start with, I don't know, like the Essence or something, and then I'll go into, you get me?
Yeah.
Then I'll go into Lockdown for the girl, and then I might the bad man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the versatility is what the show needs. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes I might just start hard. Like, I'm going in whipping straight. You know them ones? It depends where you are. If I'm in the hood, I'll start paying as an essence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? So
yes.
You know them ones, like, you know what I'm saying? I might be at a wedding, like, or something. That's a pain is the essence. Because it's, you know, it's small, it's everyone in there might appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the versatility, there's no show like GIGGS' show. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
does that feel like having that in your arsenal whenever you do your live shows, you're able to kind of construct it for what the show is, what you're saying? Because
I can do anything. I can perform anywhere, like any settings. There's no settings I couldn't perform.
That must be cool as a performer, knowing you're just ready for whatever is going to spring up on you. So because I know you've done shows all across the world, so is there a feeling to, no, I wouldn't say change it up whenever you go across the pond, but is that almost like you're going to get a real GIGGS experience of a show? When you done a show at Hammersmith Apollo, the Landlord show, that show looked, that I feel like you really captured a moment within UK music that I even got to felt like I experienced it just by watching it on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I got to feel like,
like you was there.
I was there in the moment. I'm smiling at times where I'm like, he dropped this, and seeing everyone in the crowd. And when I mean everyone in the crowd, like Lethal B is in the crowd, seeing Tiny Temper in the crowd. And I'm only seeing this just on YouTube. And Hammersmith Apollo as a venue, for me, it's one of my favorites to do comedy. It reminds me a lot of what's that venue? Like Brixton Academy, where it's got that kind of floor that goes down, amazing acoustics. But what was that like for you performing that show? Did that feel like a homecoming in some ways, because you wasn't able to do shows in the past, and now you're in an iconic arena?
When I was finally on tour, I remember that's when I thought, fucking hell, is this what, like, I wasn't allowed to do all these years? Because I didn't understand. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like I said, I was just.
And you documented it as well. I
was just off the streets, and I was doing shows because it was like PAs. So I thought, I'm doing shows. And Buck used to be like to me, nah, those ain't shows, bro. Like, no one don't want to come out. Some people don't want to come at 2 a.m. Some people want to be in bed by, you know what I'm saying? They want to watch you perform at 8, 9.
The voice of reason.
And I said, but I still didn't know what he was talking about. I used to be like, maybe, but I think they'll come out for me. You know, everyone's like, but so when it was actual like showtime, a gig show, because those were just clubs. Like, some people might even just be, that might be their local club where they go every Friday. They don't even know who GIGGS is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't come to see GIGGS, so this was people coming to see GIGGS. So then that's when I was like, raw, like, this is great. And I remember, tour is always emotional. Don't ask me why. But I don't know, I think it's because you're performing cause my music's proper emotional, like, you get me? Like, even though it's lit and happy and that, it's still a lot of pain. Like, better time, I don't know, I just felt like crying for no reason and all that. Man would be praying, and I just think, don't cry. Like, you know. And I ain't even a crier.
Yeah, is this on stage?
Nah, like just before I'm going on stage, we always pray and that. Okay. Then I just feel like, yeah, like just used to be emotional. Like, yeah, I just think all the emotions, like from all the different songs and times through your life, you're performing them every night. The crowd's giving you your energy, they're giving you theirs. Like, it's just, I just used to feel mad. That's what I remember from that time still.
And I feel like the way you captured it was nice, seeing you bring people out on stage. Some people who had never been on tour before, that I
remember them times, 6,
that
7
was on tour. Man.
That's what I'm saying. See, bro, like, man, like through the whole thing, fam, it's man just shows bare love, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's you know, and it's interesting because like when you get to that point, it must have felt nice to say, look, man, everyone come on tour as well, experience what I'm experiencing. Because it could have been easy to say, listen, I'm doing this myself. Do you know what I mean?
Even the man them, like, I won't say names, a couple of the artists, but it'll be like, what, fam, what, you putting everyone on tour buses? That's expensive, bro, man. Like, wait. And I used to be like, nah, man, we all gotta, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta, because I know what it's like to not be able to experience it. So I'm like, we all gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? So even them, when it's out of pocket, I know it's not really good advice, ladies and gentlemen, but like sometimes, man, that's living in the moment. Like, I want everyone to enjoy this moment. The more the merrier, like, you know what I'm saying? That's always my motto, the more the merrier. You get me? Like,
I think also for you as well, you're bringing along a load of artists who have experienced the same stuff you've experienced by being in the streets, releasing music, having their shows, you know what I mean, cancelled or not getting radio play as well. So it's and like the way you've, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you've also like laid down the groundwork for like a generation of young artists now. Do you know what I mean? Working people you've collaborated with. How does that feel as well to have, you know, these new artists, but like they look up to you, but also they tell you stuff that's so personal where they say, oh, listen, I was in jail and listen, this got me through this as an artist, because it must feel so inspiring when you sit and you're like, I know, I've been there. Like, how does that start to feel?
It's always mad when someone says, yeah, man, you saved my life, or this song got me through it. Like, it's always like, wow, like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you think, I can't even, it'll be a disservice to even slow down or not do this, because this is God's work, isn't it? Like,
of course.
Like, a man's told you got him through something. You don't know what that thing is, what he fucking might have been going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? Yeah. So yeah, man, it's always a big, but yeah, and for the youths as well, and just I more think about like what more can man do, like, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like, my son now is 23. I'm always thinking, how could we make this thing bigger? How can we? Because all that shit has made the streets safer. Let's be honest. Like, all our success, you know what I mean? Like, look at the streets before. There was a mess, bro. There was no hope. Look, you said you had to go to Dulwich Village and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's true though. There was no hope. There weren't no gigs, no Mo. Well, there was, but like, you know, like,
I know.
Man, like, you know what I'm saying?
It was like a togetherness, I feel like.
Yeah, so like, the hope and all that now is all like, man, we just gotta keep making this thing greater, man. And I just feel proud. Yeah. All the time, bro. I feel proud. I can't even be upset about nothing.
Speaking of being proud, what's it like performing alongside your son? I see you guys had a show in Manchester recently.
We did that for Stone Island
and stuff. Yeah. And how is that? That must be nice, man. Doing a show with Stone Island.
Yeah, it's mad,
like,
bro.
With your son as well.
Because even like in that Soldier Rhythm. Remember that Soldier Rhythm? Yeah. That Stone Island jacket, and there's fake, bro.
Oh, raw.
Yeah.
I said like, raw, really?
Yeah.
Issue market,
yeah. Nah, it was off the back of the lorry still. It was someone was selling Stone Island jackets or something. You get me? I didn't know if it was real or not. Yeah. But it probably wasn't.
Yeah.
You know,
Back
they
in
were
the
one
day,
of them ones that...
It was just nice to have.
Yeah, man would grab that. What? 60 quid.
Yeah,
I remember it was 60 quid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, grab that Stony. You know what I mean? I was wearing that in the soldier. That was a fake Stony. And then fast forward, I'm performing in Manchester with my oldest son. It was emotional. Like, just him up there enjoying, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, of course.
You know them ones, like, it's not like he's following his dream.
Yeah.
He's blessed enough to be in a position to be able to guide him. Man's doing Stone Island. I wasn't doing Stone Island performances when I was 23, bro.
Yeah,
for bread. And they're giving him his Stone Island up, like, man had the fake one.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like,
so bro. So,
it's just,
you really start to appreciate.
Like, just beaming out, just bare, man's proud, you get me? Like, that's my son, you know what I mean? Like, so, that
must be nice, though.
Yeah, no, it's mad, man. Even the whole day, like we was driving up there, we was going up there in the bus, you know what I'm saying? He's performing as well. This is his show as well. He's got his own rider. Then the bus even broke down. Yeah, like, then we had to wait for another bus to come for 2 hours. But it was nice still. I'm just chilling with my son. We're just going, there's no rush. We're going up. We're going to get up to this show, perform. It's just a nice day. It's a nice time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, quality time.
Do you start to enjoy music more when you do stuff like that? When it gives you... Because sometimes I know what it's like when you've got to do the show, and like, that would have been different had you been going to a show and the bus breaks down and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Nah, you know me, I enjoy every single piece of this thing.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, like every single piece of it, bro.
How come?
Bro, man was a gangster, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen the most, fam. I could say I've seen it all, but that might be milk, but I've seen the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. I've seen both sides. Remember, man's got into music, like, late, like 28, 27 when Walk in the Park dropped. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I've already, like, fucked up, done loads of dumb shit.
Yeah.
Risked my life, been through the most. Like, you get me? Like, to, like, seeing all it, and then being blocked because of that world, and then, so had it hard in music, and then afterwards, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
you get me? So, like, me, I appreciate all of it. Everything, like,
so
going
a broken down bus is like...
Yeah, that's like, my son's next to me, like, it's a vibes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's still a TV, the TV's in them, you know what I'm saying? We're vibes in, but getting joke, like, you know what I mean? You can't, same thing, like, even, look, today, like, I just dropped the kids' school, came straight here to link, you know what I'm saying? Like, manner reason, this is work.
Yeah.
I can't,
yeah.
Like, this is work right now. Bro, like, man's grateful, fam. You know what I mean?
And also, I feel like your impact within music, but your impact of putting on people, but also your impact of representing where you're from. Well, we had a tour show in New Zealand. Some guy was just like, Mike, big fan, man. I fucking love London, man. Shit, man. When's GIGGS coming over, man? wait, you got to get GIGGS over here, man. And it's like sometimes the realization of, like, what music does, in a sense of, that's why I bring up that ecosystem a lot, where you're like, you know, like, we've grown up within the same area, but someone is like, I know where you're from, but I also know where this artist is from as well. And now his reference of Peckham is now for the positive. Do you ever think about that sometimes?
100%, fam, man. Man ain't, bro, like, man ain't put on for Peckham like GIGGS, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? Like, obviously, like, no disrespect, because you got Ashley Waters, John Boyega, Damson, Idris, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? And plenty more. But, like, man was like, the Peckham, you know them ones like Peckham, like, you know them ones like football Peckham, you know them ones like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
You get me? But because of, like, my past, they don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll see, like, they used to have in Peckham, remember they used to have the picture of Ashley
at the bus stop across
Ashley,
from Katie.
Ashley Waters, John Boyega, no GIGGS. You know them ones, and it's like, it's cool and that, because I know who I am and that. But bro, man, I remember when Peckham was still dangerous, yeah. And I think it was like probably 08, walk in the park kind of times, yeah. And then man's on the ends, like Peckham Market, you know, like the indoor market, standing outside. And there was 2 white girls. Then they came and they was like taking pictures. And they was, oh my gosh, GIGGS, he's here, yeah. And then I said, oh, nice to meet you. You lot from? They was from, like, I don't even know where they was from. And they said, no, we just came to take pictures of Peckham and see if you was here. And I thought,
oh wow,
take pictures of Peckham, like, the fuck? It's a shithole, like, what the fuck? But that's when it hit me, like, raw, like, man's making Peckham famous, like.
Wow, what year was this?
This was like 08.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like after walking the park, like, and that's when it was like raw, like this thing's serious, innit?
Yeah, of course.
Just taking pictures. You know that you got KFC. Remember that jewelry, that pawn shop that's always been on the corner forever.
Yeah. Across the road from the Primark.
The Primark. Taking picture, and I'm like, this is mad. This is Peckham. Like that's when I knew, like, raw, man's a like staple out here. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me?
Because you know, like when I think of like US music and how a lot of rappers put on from where they're from. Do you know what I mean? Fat Joe always talks about the Bronx, and you know what I mean. Cameron and Dipset are always talking about, you know, Harlem. So it must feel like fulfilling where you're meeting someone and you're like, I'm putting this place on, but people are coming here and they just want to take pictures of it. Yeah, man, I must be proud, man.
Yeah, bro, that's where we grew up. Like Peckham, every single fucking step of Peckham, I've got a memory, bro. Every step. Step 1 step. Oh, this is where that happened. Left, so that's where that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? Like, so for someone to come and be like, oh, I want to take pictures of, for what? Like, but I understood. Like, this is what man's making happen here, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you get me?
Of course, man. And speaking of making things happen, Somerset House, man, 17th of July, GIGGS and Friends. This is big, bruv. Somerset House. Do you think do you not sometimes like have moments where you're like rah? Because you've done a ton of shows all around the world, but like, when I normally think of Somerset House, I think of 2 things. Fashion Week sometimes there, and it's normally for ice skating. So to have GIGGS and Friends in central London in the middle of summer, and we're celebrating like your legacy as well. Do you know what I mean? How you looking forward to the show, man? I think this is iconic, man. Yeah, got GIGGS in central London.
Yeah, do you know where it's at? Do you know where it's for me? I ain't never been there.
Yeah, I've only gone past it and stuff. Yeah.
So man, you ain't been in there either?
I've never been in there.
That's some hood shit.
Yeah, I've never been in there. Man. I've gone past it. I used to go to the bus stop when I used to work in Covent Garden, take the 172. But I've never been inside of it.
It's because we don't know about them things on the ends. We know about Chicago's and that. You know what I'm saying? The venue next to McDonald's on Old Kent. Like, you know, that's what like, it's true. Like, we don't grow up, man, around. It's true that, like, saying, we going to Somerset House, like, innit? Like, who was coming up to you them days?
I see you in there one time.
Somerset House?
Years ago, Chicago's, man.
Chicago.
Yeah,
is it? You was in Chicago?
Years ago.
That's mad. Hey, Chicago, that was the true inches, bro. Fucking hell. What was you doing? What was happening in there?
Oh, there was a party. Whose party was it? It was someone's party.
Yeah.
This was years ago.
There used to be no girls in there.
Yeah, that was...
that was a straight bad man thing. Straight bad. If like that, them ones there is like, yeah, man's here.
Yeah.
No girl or nothing, you know.
Nah, I only went once.
Like a 10 girls, 10 yardie girls, and they were with someone, like, or like, you know what I'm saying?
But then on I think it's Saturdays, they'd have the Latin night, the Colombian night.
Okay, in Chicago. Yeah. So we wouldn't even know, innit?
Yeah, they'd have like a little Colombian night on a Saturdays, man.
But I've never been in there still, and man's always saying to me, in there, it's proper nice, you know. I heard it's like it's kind of outdoor, indoor, innit? Like, and so it would be summertime. So me, Tiny Boost, P Money, and Potter. we're gonna do like a thing, but it's gonna be like a different kind of set, like
because
you get me, like
like
like a shubs, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so yeah, man, it's just like a vibes, really.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? I'll just do shit for no reason, bro. Like,
I feel that sometimes you do some, like, you do events, and I'm like, oh, this is different. Like, we were speaking before, you had your thing at it was Greenwich University, right?
Yeah.
And that was but the GIGGS, what was the theme? Was it like Alice in Wonderland or something like that?
It was Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, that's it.
And Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes, yeah. But even when I think of, like, do you remember when you had your boat party?
The boat party?
You had a boat party.
Which one?
That was with Spotify.
Oh yeah, that was mad, isn't it? The boat was all everyone had to stop jumping because the boat was you there?
Yeah, I was there.
And what was you doing? Hosting it?
No, I wasn't hosting.
Where you just pulled up?
Yeah.
That was lit, innit?
Irene invited me to that.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember we went to that. It was a vibe.
Yeah.
That's when I asked you was with your brother, and I said to you, and I was like, you see one of your tracks, because that's when I was doing the geezer stuff at that time. And then I remember I went up to you and I said, in the track you said couple of. And I was like, did that inspire that? And you was like, nah.
Shit.
He's like, nah, bro. But then he said, if you want it.
Yeah, you can hold it. You can, like, man, I'll run with it. Like, if you know what I'm saying? Like, because I might have, you know them ones, maybe I subconsciously did, so.
One of my friends told me, because that's when I first done a tour. And we was listening to the Landlord in the car. And this was what 2016, 2017. So all my friends were hyping me up. They're like, yeah,
that's your thing. Yeah.
That's you, man. So I had
maybe you should have told me that story first, then I just wouldn't have answered. You know what I mean? Yeah, but yeah. Do you know what it is? Like, the country is just dead for a lot of, like, now it's more lit though. Like, there's more things. Before, there didn't used to really be nothing for the man them, like, private, grown, heavy, red carpet, boss, kings and queens. You know what I'm saying? The stuff we deserve, like, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, like the man them are superstars, bro. We're international, you know what I mean? But like, this country, like, it kind of suppresses that, innit? Like, you know what I mean? They don't really, like, the media don't really, like, show the man them love, like, you know what I'm saying? But we do the maddest things.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, like, I always say, like, you got, like, I don't know, D Block Europe or Dave or selling out O2 nights in a row, like, but, like, they don't get that A-list superstar, like, even you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get that A-list superstar. When he walks in, like, like, you know, that's like, the only time we get that is when we do something wrong. Like, right now, if man done something wrong, like, God forbid, like a crime or something, then now it's front page. Now you're important. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I'm saying? We don't really get treated the way we're supposed to here. Like, if it was America, you see the way they treat. Do you know what I mean? They understand, like, but obviously, remember, we're like 30 years behind or something, so they probably had to get up there as well. But you know the ones, but we don't really get. So that's why man's on a thing like, yeah, man, we need to do it big tonight. This is how we deserve Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, everyone dressed like royalty. Like, you know them ones. That's man's. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just sometimes I just want us to understand who exactly we are, like, you know them ones, that. So that's why man would just do things sometimes, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's do Somerset House outside summertime with the, you know what I mean? Because it, like, what, we're not supposed to be here? Yeah, we're supposed to be here celebrating. Let's celebrate, like, you know what I mean? So I'm all about celebrating, you get me? Yeah.
And like, you're in some ways, like, you're a massive pioneer for, I think, UK music, like, not even just rap music. I feel like for UK music, you're a huge pioneer. You know, we call Talking the Hardest the national anthem. Do you know what I mean? When it goes off in a club, anywhere in the country, it goes off. Do you know what I mean? So, like, how do you start looking towards, like, the end of your career? Because I see you putting out music all the time. You know, you got a track that's releasing soon on the 29th of May.
Gorgeous.
Like, But like, how do you start to like? Do you plan for the later part of your future? Do you want to continue to make music? Is there a time where we're just gonna be prepared for you to say, look, I'm retiring, or is it I'm gonna keep riding this wheel? I'm gonna keep riding the wheels. I'm gonna keep riding it till the wheels fall off, basically.
Nah, I just enjoy the game. That's it. Just enjoy it. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because look, where is the end? Like, you know what I mean? Look at like the OGs now, like Jay-Z and Buju Banton and Vibes Cartel and flipping Swiss Beats and 50 Cent, like all them man, they're still Busta Rhymes. You get me? The man them are still making the biggest moves ever. DJ Khaled, you know what I mean? Everyone's Beanie Man, Bounty, like you get me? Them man, they're 50s and that. We ain't even seen this before. Man, them that age still relevant. I've still got loads to enjoy. You know what I mean? I ain't seen shit yet. You know, you always get to that level and you think, yeah, man, this is it. But now there's always another level, fam. Always, bro. You get me? Like, and I'm always ready for the next level. You know what I mean?
And what do you want your legacy to be? Do you ever think about stuff like that?
I don't really think about stuff like that, to be honest. I just just keep being me. That shit works itself out, innit? Yeah, you know what I mean? Okay. Man's gonna make mistakes. Man's gonna learn from them mistakes. Man's gonna you know what I mean? So I guess my legacy is that I'm a human being. Like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, trying to ting. Yeah. That's my legacy. I'm a human being trying to ting, fam. Because that's what we all doing. We're all trying to ting, innit? Yeah, man. So let that be my legacy. A human being trying to ting.
Yeah, man. So when they put a statue of you in Peckham, so they probably do it where, like, let's say it was like across the road from Katie's, where you say where the pictures are. That's what you want.
I need it more centre stage.
Where do you want it then?
Maybe outside Crackerjack. In the middle of the road. In the middle of the road, outside Crackerjack. You have to drive around it. Whatever way, you know them ones there. You know what I mean? I'll stay in the streets that way. And you want on your plaque
just a human being trying to ting,
Just a human being trying to ting.
I like that, man. Like, GIGGS, listen, I think this is like the first time we proper
definitely
sat down and had a chat. But honestly, it's so inspirational of, like, one, what you've done, what you're doing, and also what you continue to do. Do you know what I mean? It inspires loads of us, some of us that are, you know, from the area, but then also the outer reaches of the UK. Do you know what I mean? Like going all the way to another place of the world and someone being like, oh, like, I know of you because of this person, or when is that person coming here? Seeing you do stuff, you know, in the States, and like, you know what, it's a totally different place there, but to be able to do shows, like I know you had shows in like Atlanta and LA and New York and Toronto and stuff, and it's mad inspiring because like what you're able to do is, in some ways, is like, it's a blueprint to follow for anyone. Do you know what I mean? Whether you're an actor, you're a comedian, you're a musician, it's inspiring, man. And I think the next part, but like you're saying, you know what I mean? Like that next part, and next stage of your career is going to be interesting to see, because you said like you said, you're a man who's like just like fucking doing music, innit? Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see that path in some ways. But honestly, it's been fun, man, and this is your beginning, middle, and end. Thank you very much, my bro. Love, appreciate it, man.
Big up. Should I clap for myself?
Is that how? Yeah, bro. If you want to, bro.
You're doing your thing as well, man. Well done, man. Big up, man.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. Now, a lot goes into making each episode. I know you hear my voice, but there's a team behind the scenes who help make it. And if you did enjoy it, I'd really, really appreciate it if you could show the love to them by giving us 5 stars. And if you also have the time, please leave us a review. It's always appreciated, and we love reading the comments. And of course, we want to keep making it better. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Peace.